No vehicle in military history has been deployed in more conflicts by more armies than the humble pickup truck. From the deserts of Libya to the mountains of Afghanistan, military pickups carry troops, weapons, and supplies where no armored vehicle can follow. Today, Iron Protocol covers every military pickup truck in active use, all 18 types fully explained. We start with conflict zone technicals, the most widely deployed military vehicles on Earth. The Toyota Hilux is the single most combat-deployed vehicle in history, used by over 50 armies and every major non-state armed group since the 1980s. It has a 1,000-kilogram payload, runs on almost any fuel, and can be repaired with basic hand tools anywhere on Earth. From ISIS to the SAS, every force that needs to move fast and light across open terrain defaults to the Hilux. Then, the Toyota Land Cruiser 70 series, the heavy sibling of the Hilux, built on a longer ladder-frame chassis with a 2,000-kilogram payload capacity. It carries heavier weapons mounts, including 14.5mm heavy machine guns and recoilless rifles, that the Hilux frame cannot support under sustained fire. Australia's Special Air Service and multiple Gulf state militaries use it as their primary open-country tactical vehicle. Now, the Ford F-350 Super Duty. U.S. Special Operations Forces use this civilian heavy-duty pickup because its 1.5-ton payload, commercial parts availability, and low visual profile make it ideal for irregular warfare. It is modified with armored doors, communications equipment, and weapons mounts that are invisible from a distance. SEAL Team 6 and Delta Force have both operated F-350s in theater. The exact loadout remains classified. Up next, the Nissan Navara military variant. Operated by the British Army, French Foreign Legion, and dozens of partner force militaries, the Navara balances payload and mobility at a price point well below purpose-built tactical vehicles. The military variant adds a strengthened rear axle, NATO tow hitch, and blackout lighting as standard. France's 1st Marine Infantry Parachute Regiment uses it as its primary light patrol vehicle across the Sahel region. The next one, the Mitsubishi L200 military. Compact dimensions and a 1,000-kilogram payload make it the preferred light patrol vehicle of mountain and jungle infantry units where larger trucks cannot maneuver. Special operations forces across Southeast Asia and South America operate it in configurations ranging from basic troop transport to armed reconnaissance. The L200 has been documented in active use in at least 14 ongoing or recent conflicts since 2015. Next on the list, Western purpose-built military pickups. The Land Rover Defender 110 Wolf. Britain's military Defender served the British Army for over 25 years as its standard light utility vehicle before being replaced by the Foxhound. The Wolf variant added a strengthened chassis, 24-volt electrics, and a weapons mount on the roll bar for a GPMG or .50 caliber. It remains in service with dozens of Commonwealth and NATO partner nations who still operate significant fleets. Then, the Mercedes-Benz G-Class military. The Bundeswehr's primary light utility vehicle, operated in both soft-top and armored configurations by German forces and over 40 export customers. The military G-Class carries a 750-kilogram payload with full NATO towing capacity and runs the same basic drivetrain as the civilian version, meaning parts are available in almost any country. Germany, Austria, Norway, and Switzerland all operate it as their standard light patrol vehicle. Now, the Ford Ranger T6 military. Australia's army replaced its Land Rover fleet with the militarized Ford Ranger, a decision that proved controversial when early vehicles showed chassis stress fractures under combat loading. The T6 military variant was subsequently upgraded with a reinforced frame, run-flat tires, and an integrated weapons mount hardpoint on the cargo bed. The Australian Army now operates over 1,000 Ranger T6s across its light infantry and special operations units. Up next, the Ram 1500 SOF. U.S. Special Operations Command operates a classified fleet of modified Ram 1500 pickups for domestic and low-profile foreign deployments where a military vehicle would attract attention. The SOF Ram carries concealed armor, encrypted communications, and weapon storage built into the truck bed liner. Its appearance is identical to a civilian Ram 1500, which is precisely why it was chosen. Continuing with premium tactical light vehicles, the Oshkosh JLTV. America's Joint Light Tactical Vehicle replaced the HMM-WV in frontline U.S. Army and Marine Corps service at a unit cost of $399,000. It carries a 2,300 kilogram payload, level 6 mine blast protection, and a remote weapon station that can mount a .50 caliber or 40 mm grenade launcher. The JLTV can be configured as a pickup-style cargo carrier, troop carrier, or heavy weapons platform on the same base chassis. The next one, the Polaris Daegor. The Defense Advanced Ground Off-Road Vehicle weighs just 1,590 kilograms, light enough to be sling-loaded under a UH-60 Blackhawk or carried inside a CH-47 Chinook. It carries 9 soldiers with full combat equipment and a weapons mount, covering 130 kilometers on a single fuel load at speeds up to 100 kilometers per hour. U.S. Army Rangers and SOCOM units use it specifically for rapid insertion operations where standard trucks are too heavy to airlift. Then, the HMM-WVM-1097 pickup. The cargo and weapons carrier variant of the HMM-WV remains in service with over 50 militaries worldwide, despite the U.S. Army's transition to the JLTV. Its flat cargo bed accepts standardized pallet loads, weapon system mounts, or shelter kits. The same basic frame serves 15 different role configurations. Over 280,000 HMM-WVs were built, making it the most numerically produced military pickup class vehicle in history. Moving on to Asian and emerging military pickups. The UAZ Patriot Military. Russia's UAZ-built light utility truck is the standard light vehicle of the Russian Army and National Guard, used across every operational theater from Syria to Ukraine. It carries a 600 kilogram payload on a simple ladder frame chassis designed for repair by conscript mechanics with basic tools in field conditions. The UAZ Patriot has been captured in large numbers in Ukraine, where its simple mechanics make it equally useful to both sides. Now, the Dongfeng Mengshi. China's answer to the HMM-WV, built by Dongfeng Motor Corporation for the People's Liberation Army, with a 1,000 kilogram payload and a weapons mount on the roof. The Mengshi is licensed-produced under technology originally derived from a 1990s Mercedes-Benz G-Class military contract and has been upgraded through multiple generations. China has exported it to at least 12 countries as part of military aid packages alongside other Chinese defense equipment. Up next, the Mahindra LSV. India's domestically built light specialist vehicle, developed by Mahindra Defense for the Indian Army as a replacement for aging Maruti Gypsy fleets. It carries 800 kilograms, is air transportable by Indian Air Force helicopters, and mounts a roof weapons cradle compatible with Indian standard crew weapons. The Indian Army has ordered over 1,500 units, with deliveries ongoing through 2026. Finishing with regional and specialist military pickups. The NIMR Ajban. The UAE's domestically produced tactical vehicle is built by NIMR Automotive with a 1,400 kilogram payload and mine blast protection built into the floor, a level of protection no standard civilian pickup offers. It powers the UAE Armed Forces Light Infantry and is exported to Gulf Cooperation Council partner militaries. The Ajban has been confirmed in active combat use by UAE-backed forces in Yemen since 2015. The next one, the Isuzu D-Max Military. Japan's Ground Self-Defense Force, Philippine Army, and multiple Southeast Asian militaries use the militarized D-Max as their standard light utility vehicle. It carries a 1,000 kilogram payload with a reinforced rear suspension specifically upgraded for sustained weapons mount operation. The D-Max military's diesel engine runs reliably in the extreme humidity and temperature range of jungle operating environments that defeat more complex powertrains. Then, the Tata LSV. India's Tata Motors light specialist vehicle serves the Indian Army alongside the Mahindra LSV, offering a slightly larger platform with a 1,500 kilogram payload and integrated armor protection on the cab. It is fully air-portable by IAF transport aircraft and configured for roles from armed reconnaissance to command and control. Tata has received orders for over 800 units, with the Indian Army deploying them along the line of actual control with China. Subscribe to Iron Protocol for complete modern warfare system breakdowns.